All right, you're listening to CTCM Radio, a station for all nations, and we are here now live and in color with Doreen Scott. Now, the last time we got together, we had a couple great interviews. We had one with Melissa Arce, in which she shared a lot of great insight and just things about her life and just her upbringing as it relates to just her Christianity, her faith, and even her fitness, as she's a fitness instructor and, puts her body into action as it relates to the body as a temple and everything that comes with being fit and being healthy from the inside out, spiritually and physically. And then we had another episode where we had Hezekiah Bard. He's our resident drummer here at Commitment, and he's also our musical director, and he continues to just push the envelope on everything that God has called him to do as it relates to just even social and things that are happening in the society today, and just awesome things that he's been grown into ministry with, and just loving his talent and just how he just puts his spirit into everything when he plays the drums, when he even sings, and has a wonderful family. And all of these people are awesome, right? And we want to put that out there on this show, Worship Team Foundations. There's a lot of stuff that we can talk about worship ministry. And today I brought a special guest, Doreen Scott. Now, she's here with us. She is our resident flautist. Is that the way you can say that? Flautist?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
That's the Italian.
I always came flutist or, flute player, just to kind of avoid or, get away from, the formal, because I'm not that formal anyway. But we're here with her today, and we want to just continue this overall conversation in Worship Team Foundations, where we want to just kind of bring to the forefront everything that you need to know to do worship ministry. And that's not just the technical or just administratively, but also the very heart of it all, as it relates to leading worship, leading the people of God into the presence of God, into the courts of praise, and just doing great things with our talents that he's given us. And I brought in Doreen, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself. So tell us what we need to know about you first before we start digging in deeper.
Okay, well, thanks for having me, first of all.
Yes.
It's a privilege. Anytime someone wants you to share, that's always a privilege. So
yeah,
thank you for that. I don't know. I play the flute. I am a mom, a wife, a teacher. I've been doing worship in the church for about 22 years, something like that.
Wow.
Maybe longer, off and on. I had different hiatuses.
So before you were a mom, you were worshiping still with a flute?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes.
And then you got married?
Yes.
Your husband, Robert Scott, right?
Yes.
All right. We'll try to this is both video and audio, everybody. So if I say I'm going to put an image up, hey, it's okay, if you can't see it. But you can check us out, shameless plug, on CTCM Radio YouTube page as well, on commitmentchurch.org as well. Anyway, let's continue.
Yes.
So Robert Scott, right? That's the husband. That is the hubby, right? That is the man that God placed in your life.
Yes.
And then you had how many kids now?
2 kids.
2 kids. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then you still worshiping, and your husband also plays an instrument as well, as I understand it.
Yeah. He plays the drums.
Yeah.
So he played growing up, and then he played here at Commitment for I think a year or 2.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, way back. Mm-hmm. I think in the very beginning when we were struggling to get musicians, Mm-hmm. I mean, he was here and giving his best as well.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your children.
So I have 2 boys, twin boys, 15 years old.
Wow. At the same time, 15.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to 2020. 2020 vision, 2020 problems.
Yeah, well, I'm really blessed. They are, even though they're teens, they are, they're great boys. And I was thinking about it on the way over. It's a different time than when I grew up. So some of the things that happen are shocking, I guess.
Yeah.
But, and some of the things that are said. But I'd rather be shocked and just know what they're feeling and thinking, as opposed to how I grew up, where you kind of, children were to be seen, not heard.
Right.
And so you were only so close to your parent. So I appreciate that we're close. They can say anything. I'd rather be a little bit offended, a little shocked, just to know their heart, and
That's exactly how I feel. I mean, I'm a very down to earth, grounded person, I would think, and I my prayer early on, with my wife Carmen, is that that we stay grounded with our children, that we become parents that are able to let them express themselves respectfully, of course, and we show them what respect looks like, and help them have a communication flow, not be scared to tell that mom and dad, they were tempted to do something, or they saw something bad and they're scared to talk about it or anything like that. I think it's very, very awesome to have just grounded parents. I thank God every day I was able to always, I was raised without a father, but I had my mom, and my mom was very grounded, very out there, very colorful, when it comes to just like her life and just how she lives it. And I was able to always go to her, I would get a bad report card and she would be there, for me to tell her, listen, this is not a good report card, and when I was young and being in school, I was able to communicate with her, and she was able to talk and guide me through things, and sure, there were some moments of disappointment and moments where I messed up, and it's not very, very admirable, but she was there for me the whole time.
Yes. You knew you could go to her, and that's what I tell my son. You can talk to me about anything.
Absolutely. So worship. So now you're I will have to say, because I tell the team as well, as when I do devotionals and stuff on Thursday nights, do our rehearsals. I tell everybody, you guys are worship leaders in your own right. Like, just because I have the name worship leader at the church, and I get to lead you guys in different avenues, I respect you guys just like you were my worship leaders, and I know that there are things that I don't have that you guys give, that you guys have the talent for, and I just completely respect that from you guys. And I when it comes to really coming to the presence of God, everybody has something to give, and it's not just about the leader has all the gifts, but it's delegated. God picks us and puts us together in a team for a reason, so that we can all, worship together as one, as we say here affectionately, as a slogan or type of thing. But how do you see yourself in the worship ministry? What is your role in the worship ministry?
Well, I definitely, even though it's flute that I play, I do consider myself a worship leader. Not the leader, but a worship leader.
Right.
I'm there to help lead the people.
Yeah.
I'm a part of a team that leads people in worship. So I take that to heart every Sunday or whenever we're up here. And it's important. It's something important, because that instrument may speak to someone that the drums is not speaking to.
Right.
So I do, I count it, again, a privilege, and I really think it's very important. So, when I get up there, I put my heart into it, and,
Yeah, I mean, every Sunday, I'm sure there are people that, every as I say, every worship leader on stage with me, right, has a follower of sorts. You got people that identify with a drummer, others identify with a keyboard player, others identify with just the singer, and you have your people that they identify with your worship through flute. And I see that over and over, like people that come up and they're just blessed. And how do you feel about that? Like, that kind of thing. Have you ever thought about the influence that you have, even though it's not a speaking type of thing, but it's an instrumental type of thing? It's like you're an instrumental part of your instrument.
Yes, I just want to lead people to worship or into a closer relationship with the Lord. And to have an experience in worship, and just to, in the Bible days, when I was growing up, my dad had this book about Bible customs and cultures, and so one of the instruments that the shepherds played was the flute. We know about David; he played the harp, and he likely played the flute as well because that was a part of the culture. And it was something that they said soothed the sheep, calmed the sheep. So that is a part of what I hope to do, to calm spirits and just to provide a peaceful sound. And we also see how music, instrumental music, was used to just also for deliverance, for like when there was a spirit vexing a person.
Yeah.
So I think about those things when I'm up there, and I pray for that. I pray for that when I'm there, and I expect God to use me in that area. Yeah. So.
Yeah. That's super cool. I mean, if you guys have noticed so far, those that are watching online, like, she's very calm, right? She's very calm. She's very like that sweet kind of still, just demeanor about you. And it's just like someone like you that God will use in a powerful way that way. I think you pointed out a while back, we had a sister that was in the team that she also was very like low key, but then when she sang, that beautiful voice came out. I remember Miss Donna, Warren, and her voice. If you're hearing us today, Donna, we love you, we miss you.
Yes.
And just that voice that came out with such skill and such beauty, but yet when you would talk to her, it was just very low key. Hey, how are you? Very, and it's not like me. I'm not very loud like my mom. Like and that's my expression. But yet then that God will use someone like that to bring out that powerful worship, that same, like you said, you're completely using your instrument as a war instrument to cast out these demons and cast out the fear and the insecurities that people bring in on Sunday morning. But not only that, you're also doing things online. You're on Facebook, you're doing things, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, all the different avenues that you are putting videos out of yourself, and you're playing as well. And what is that like? What are you doing that for there?
I think when COVID happened, things kind of shut down, and there was only a small group of us that was able to get together at the church.
Right.
And so I'm like sitting here like I have this in me, and I need an outlet because I'm, like you said, I'm a kind of a behind the scenes person. This is a little challenge for me right now, being in front of the camera, actually, because I'm kind of behind the scenes. But the Lord really spoke to me and said, so what are you going to do, you know, with this gift that I gave you? Are you just going to sit here if the church never opens again? And I faced the same question from God in my career. Okay, the schools are closed. What else are you going to do? So that's when I took to Facebook and made a few videos.
I'm in one of those videos, guys. I'm like keeping up with her. She's giving me songs and I'm practicing them in like T-minus 10 seconds and and just trying my best to keep up here. Her talent is just above and beyond. Like she'll come in and we'll, it's a funny thing though too, because God has used us together in many different times where we're just leaning on our giftedness. A lot of times we just get thrown into situations where we just have to worship God, and it's not a matter of perfection. It's a matter of just I guess just embracing God's perfection through us, right? And just using us in the best capacity we can. Now, that's not to say you give your hours of practice, you give your hours of going through a lot of different things and learning your craft. Just like I wish I would have believe it or not, I'm sure a lot of people are going to probably comment or put things down there in the comment section as it relates to my practice ethic. I mean, I really don't have a keyboard at home that I sit down for hours and practice. I don't do none of that. I come and work. I'm a full-time musician and worship leader here at Commitment. The times that I typically really practice is those Thursday nights, at least, an hour or two before everybody shows up for rehearsal. And then I'll go over the set and stuff. How does your practice time look like for you? How does that look like?
Yeah, it's kind of the same, but on a good week, I will say play on Sunday, and then I'll pick it up again on Tuesday. And then I'll pick it up Thursday for rehearsal that we have here.
I mean, we got kids, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
If I take a keyboard, I've done it before. I've taken a keyboard home, and I'll try my best to like sit there and I'll play. I'll throw a video on the TV and I'll try to follow it. And the kids are dancing around and having fun because they're like little worshipers too. They love it. They see us doing it and they'll just get into it. But then there's that inevitable, Daddy, can I have a banana? Daddy, I need water. Daddy needs to go to the bathroom. Daddy, this, and Mom is there too. But, you know, my job typically, and as we're digging deeper too, we're going to get to some stuff here where we're going to talk about even just the atmosphere of how the dynamic is in a family, right? I mean, we're called to do this job called worship, right? And, you know, we all know worship is not just about listening to music and singing songs. It's a posture,
right?
You know, and we're at home representing the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, through what we're called to do, which is our posture of obedience before Him.